brace yourselves, because Sunny Hostin just got roasted by Joe Rogan so thoroughly that it's impossible to ignore. Critics have long argued that the hosts of The View represent some of the least informed voices in daytime television, and this moment may have just proven them right.
We average out The View hosts among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a wealth.
The fallout from Karoline Leavitt's explosive legal move against The View has been nothing short of massive. Behind the scenes, litigation is ongoing, public outrage is intensifying, and serious concerns are mounting. The show may have believed they could mock Karoline and walk away unscathed, but they picked the wrong person. This time, she's not just fighting back. She's exposing The View for who they really are and demanding accountability in the form of a formal apology. Now, Joe Rogan has entered the conversation, and he held absolutely nothing back. You're about to see exactly why his blistering takedown of Sunny Hostin went viral. Don't forget to like and subscribe for years of insight and entertainment. Already subscribed? Perfect. Let's dive right in.
There is so much good news, so much winning out of the Trump White House right now that the mainstream legacy media can't keep up with it.
I saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
yeah.
it is a rabies infested henhouse.
So how did this entire situation spiral out of control? It all began the way it usually does. The View singled out Karoline Leavitt, just as they routinely do with young, conservative voices that don't fit their carefully crafted narrative. But this time, Behar and Sunny Hostin went way too far.
They really don't like this woman. She's a good communicator. And so Behar just offered her analysis on why Leavitt was picked for the role.
Behar smiled and casually suggested that Karoline only landed her position because Trump rated her a 10. Sunny Hostin, never one to miss an opportunity for identity politics, rushed to paint Karoline as nothing more than a privileged face, completely dismissing her intelligence, drive, and hard-earned accomplishments. And Whoopi Goldberg? She just sat there nodding along, as she typically does. But here's exactly where their plan completely fell apart. Karoline refused to play by their rules. Instead of backing down, she flipped the script entirely, seized control of the narrative, and made it crystal clear she would not tolerate their coordinated smear campaign.
While I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Boom. She's got more.
I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country.
Bam!
Karoline didn't just clap back, she came with everything she had. She brilliantly exposed the glaring hypocrisy of the hosts, calling them out for preaching feminism while ruthlessly tearing down any woman who dares to disagree with them. She highlighted how the show consistently lifts up liberal women while weaponizing its platform against conservative ones. Then she went one decisive step further and hit them with an $800 million defamation lawsuit. Yes, you read that correctly, $800 million. According to Karoline, the hosts are now scrambling to push her toward a settlement after their reckless on-air comments caused serious and measurable damage to her reputation. Reports indicate that ABC staffers are in full panic mode behind the scenes, completely blindsided by the sheer force of her response. And the cherry on top? Joe Rogan stepped in, and Sunny Hostin never saw it coming.
If you average out The View hosts among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a wealth. One of the things I wanted to talk to you about, I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of a way to get it down. The episode of you when you're on The View, when you were running for president.
Right.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please, let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
That's right.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
How you doing? We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy.
We love it.
They're talking about you as such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Trump.
Yeah. He tends to just...
Joe Rogan didn't just criticize Sunny Hostin, he dismantled her completely. He branded her the queen of performative outrage, calling her out for habitually playing the victim and aggressively going after anyone who dares to challenge her version of events. He mocked The View's self-proclaimed status as a journalism platform with a now iconic line, "If you average the IQ of their hosts, you're not hitting triple digits." He then backed it all up with receipts, reminding the world that the very same show now portrays Trump as the ultimate villain despite having openly praised him when it was convenient. He went even further, tearing apart the entire format of the program, comparing it to a reality TV competition where the loudest voice wins and facts simply don't matter. The internet exploded. Almost immediately after Rogan's takedown aired, the reputational damage to the hosts was severe and undeniable. His commentary was nothing short of brutal. He accomplished more fact-checking in 5 minutes than the show has managed in 5 years. The View champions empowerment while openly mocking any woman bold enough to hold a different opinion. Even senior executives at ABC are reportedly breaking into a cold sweat. This isn't just bad press. This is a full-blown crisis.
There are also calls today for The View to go next when you've got hosts like Whoopi Goldberg spitting when she's speaking about Donald Trump. Look at this.
No, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean...
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
But can I mention one thing?
That's on the ABC, of course, but what a class act. I mean, speaking about Donald Trump, you can't make this stuff up. Should The View go next?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Sunny Hostin has faced challenges or she's been in trouble, let's say, by executives at ABC for some of these smears and lies that she spread. There needs to be some level of accountability with these talk show hosts. People tune in to left-wing networks. They expect to get a left-wing talking point. But what they shouldn't expect or what we shouldn't treat as normal is the fact that there is nothing but denigration and maligning of characters.
The View is currently facing one of the most intense pressure tests in its entire history. Behind closed doors, ABC executives are reportedly engaged in urgent, high-level discussions about implementing major structural changes to both the show's format and its on-air lineup. At the same time, multiple sponsors are said to be actively reconsidering their partnerships, deeply concerned about ongoing backlash and the long-term damage to their brand reputations. Whoopi Goldberg's conspicuous silence has only deepened the tension, strongly suggesting that the situation is far more serious than what's being presented publicly. Meanwhile, Sunny Hostin is absorbing significant and lasting damage to her public image, leading insiders to speculate that her departure may be quietly under consideration as a way to salvage the show's credibility. Yet many believe the damage has already reached a point of no return. Karoline Leavitt, by contrast, has powerfully shifted public perception in her favor, laying bare the fundamental weaknesses in the show's narrative. As a result, The View now looks increasingly fragile, desperately scrambling to repair its image and rebuild trust with both its viewers and its financial partners.
And the Democrats are in complete disarray because they have become a globalist party who like to spend taxpayer dollars on useless priorities just to cater to the left's demands here at home.
Now the question lands squarely with you. Did Joe Rogan go too far with his roast, or was every single word of it completely justified? And does Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit represent a serious and defining warning shot? A growing number of people believe The View has finally received the wake-up call it has long overdue. This controversy has ripped open deeper, long-ignored issues within the show, forcing it into an uncomfortable defensive posture under a relentless wave of criticism and public scrutiny. At this point, meaningful change feels less like a possibility and more like an inevitability. Whether this pivotal moment ultimately leads to genuine accountability, or simply deepens the cultural divide, remains to be seen. But one thing is absolutely certain: the pressure bearing down on this show is no longer something they can afford to ignore.